Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. Listen, I was having some problems with our StreamYard today, but listen, we got it all fixed, and we are here today for Talk to Me Tuesday with the Networking Ninja, where we share helpful networking tips to help grow your business. Now, just real quickly, let me get some things kind of in order because we were having just a few problems with our system here. So let me just kind of get this going really quick. I hope everyone has had an amazing 4th of July weekend. Okay, there we go. I hope everyone's had an amazing 4th of July weekend, that they were able to spend some amazing time with their families, see some beautiful fireworks, and all that good juice. Okay, let me just check one more thing here to make sure that we are all set and ready to go. And then I'm ready to drop into some juicy topics because today we got some juice for you. So here we go. Let me just go to here real quick and let me share this out. There we go. Okay. So hello, everyone. Yes, it's Happy Tuesday. It's Talk to Me Tuesday, where we're sharing helpful networking tips with the Networking Ninja to help grow your business. Hey, Miss Deborah, I appreciate you all the time, Miss Lady. Listen, thank you for riding with me each event that I come to. Hey, Shannon. Thank you too, Miss Lady, for riding with me. But today, you know what? We got some good topics that I wanted to really talk about. And it's really kind of spearing off from our last Tuesday conversation that we had, and we kind of left it a little bit on the body language. But today we're going to talk about, is actually for this Tuesday and next Tuesday, I'm going to go over 10 mistakes that we do to actually kill the deal when we're actually prospecting. 10 mistakes, but today I'm only going to go over five of those items. So we'll have some conversations for next time. Now, listen, we know when you come to Talk to Me Tuesday that you got to talk back with me. So it's just not me talking to you. So I want to make sure that you are in with me. Put a 1 in the chat. So just so I know to listen, that we're going to have a good conversation. So put a 1 in the chat so that I know that you are with me. So I got some notes here that I've taken. So listen, please forgive me because listen, as my good friend Lotus Richey says, note takers and money makers. And so listen, I'm taking notes. So as you come aboard and come in with this, make sure that you grab your pen and paper to maybe take down some notes as we're talking and having a conversation. But real quickly, I just want to kind of piggyback from our last conversation from last Tuesday, when we kind of left it off with body language. And you know what? It was so kind of ironic because as I was doing my my prospecting or going to my meetings, you know what? I really paid attention to the body language that was in the room. Now, even though it was all virtual, it still doesn't matter. Body language is still an important part to our prospecting. But as I was talking, and as others was talking along aside in the meeting that we were at, I was just paying attention. I mean, I think the conversation that we had really brought awareness, much more awareness than normal to the conversation. So hello, good morning. So one of the things I want to talk about is when you know you are making a presentation. This is body language. We're going to get into the 10 things that kill the deal, but I want to just really briefly talk about the body language because that's kind of where we left off at. And I know I said that I'd eventually, do something, have a session on body language. But you know what? When I do it, I'm gonna bring some people on with me so they can kind of really, amplify what we're talking about. But I just really want to quickly talk about this because this is what I noticed. So during this particular meeting, I would see a lot of people on the Zoom meeting would either, move their head this way or that way. You know how you be like, like your head is going sideways, right? And then another thing that I recognized with what they were doing too is when, they were leaning like this, like kind of giving your face some like a resting position. And do you know that after I got off, I was like, that was kind of odd. Like I saw a lot of people were, moving their head or either doing like this or kind of looking up at the sky or something. All of that, yes, is a distraction, because that was one of the things we talked about last Tuesday. But do you really realize that that was really speaking to the person who was doing the conversation that I'm bored. This ain't a good topic. You need to add some juice to this. And so I went back to my handy dandy book, my body language, because I was like, that was just kind of odd. I mean, it really stuck out to me. And so I went to my little handy dandy book here that we talked about, the body language 101. And in here, it says that is one of the signs. It says when seated people are bored by a dull talk, one of the things that they would normally do is either turn their head sideways, or they would begin to need support from their hand, which is this. Like, okay, let me really listen to what you're saying. Okay. Or let me show that I'm paying attention, but my body language is saying another thing. So, okay. I wanted to say that. I know that that's not a part of our conversation. It is a part of our conversation, but it's really where we piggybacked off. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to respect the person who was speaking or being a part of their conversation, and you wanted to make sure that, you know what, let me just sit here and do this? Have any of us ever did that in a conversation? Or kind of have we ever did like this, like we're looking over here or looking over there? That is a sign. When they say read the room, let's read the room. When it says read the virtual, let's read the virtual. So whenever you see someone doing that in your particular conversation, or if you're doing a presentation, that is a signal, a silent signal to say, listen, we got to amp this thing up. We got to get some juice. We got to get some live conversation going, maybe some interaction going, to where my audience is not being bored with the conversation that I'm giving. Okay, so did everybody kind of get that? Yes. Hello. So did everyone kind of get what I just said? I hope so. If so, give me a 2. We're gonna talk 1, 2s, and 3s today. Give me a 2. Listen, I try to make my conversation just as exciting, but listen, one of the things that we want to do on Talk to Me Tuesday is you got to talk back to me. So 1, we just piggyback off of last week's conversation. The last part of that conversation was we talked about body language. And what I noticed, I took into a play of just, I guess, being more aware, being more attentive as the meetings I was engaged in, of how the body language was really perceived. If the body language was talking to us, was talking to me. And what I noticed in a couple of presentations where the presenter really didn't know that these were silent triggers to say, hey, do something different, was 1, resting on the arm, resting their face on their chin, or looking sideways. It wasn't a distraction, it was a signal. Hello, Dr. Jennifer, thank you for joining us. So we got to really make sure that we're paying attention to the silent signals. Okay, let's call it silent signals. Somebody put in the chat the silent signals when we are presenting to our audience, whether it's engaging or whether we're in border mode. We can think our conversation is like on popping, but to someone else, it could be on a borderline of boredom. So put in there silent signals. Someone put in the chat for me silent signals, so we'll know. So I know that you listen. That I ain't being bored. I ain't boring you. But let's do that. Okay. So, and we'll talk more about that as we get into, really the body language. I think I'm gonna talk about that all week. I think I'm gonna start just picking things apart to help us to really realize, because when we're in our groove, you know what, we can be in our groove, we can be in our mojo, and we can really be talking about something. But if we're not really reading the room, like they say, my kids say all the time, you didn't read the room. We got to read the room to know what our audience how they're feeling us, how they're taking us. Are they really taking in the information that we're talking about? Okay. So for this Tuesday and next Tuesday, we're going to talk about 10 mistakes that kill your deal. Okay. And listen, a lot of times we don't really know what we think we know, but sometimes we really don't know. That's what's killing the deal. One of the things is that I want to say, we got some good information here. Let me see. I'm checking our signals before we go on. Make sure I don't miss nothing. I don't want to miss nothing. Okay, it says, I know I've said it before, but again, that's why I don't usually show myself live during Zoom meetings and etc. I'm moving around and multitasking while I'm listening, and believe me, I'm listening, but it may appear that I'm not interested in what they are saying. If others see me moving around, there may be a distraction from the speaker. It's not about me. I want the speaker to have my full attention. Love it, love it, love it. That's good juice. That's good juice. Thank you so much, Miss Deborah. Great day. I love to have you on my show. Career Coffee Conversations with Dr. J. Look at there. I love to be on your show too. Look, send me a DM and I definitely listen. We can definitely make that happen. Okay, so good juice. I am so glad. I think a lot of times we just want to make sure. That's why I wanted to really bring those two things up, that we just really make sure that we are reading the room, that what we are saying is really resonating with our audience, that it has some juice, it has some power, it has some life to it. And if you're looking, and when we are doing our presentations and we're getting these silent signals, somebody write silent signals in there for me. Write silent signals in there. That once we get those silent signals, we just want to know what they are, so we can, tilt our conversation a little bit, put a little bit more energy, a little bit more into what we're saying, to get our audience to be like, ooh, I like what she said. Ooh, she said some real good stuff. Because really, our presentation is everything. And we'll talk about that too a little later down the road. But our presentation is everything. It speaks to exactly the know, like, and trust factor. Hey, I like you. I'm vibing with you. We have a connection together. So we'll get into that though. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so one of the things that I want to talk about is the 10 things that kill our deal. So the first one is going to be, we're going to talk about buying signals. Okay. Let's start off with the very first thing. The very first thing that kills the deal, number one, is pitching too fast. We pitch entirely too fast when it comes to our products and services. We are all passionate about what we do. We all have something that, could solve a problem, that could change people's life, that could transform people's life. But sometimes what kills the deal is when you throw it out there, when you throw that fastball out there too fast. We got to slow down. Remember a while back, I said, networking is so essential. We can't pop it in the microwave and get that instant gratification. We really have to let it marinate. People got to know who we are, know what our goals are. I mean, we got to show some value. We got to bring value to the conversation. And then there's always an opportunity to pitch what we're doing. I don't want to say pitch, but to present. Let's say pitch out, present what we're doing. So one of the deals, the very first deal is, don't go in there selling. Don't go in there selling. Let's have a conversation. That'll be the first thing. Focus on something, especially if you're at a networking event. Let's take a step back. If you're at a networking event, and remember, when you go to networking events, you're not networking for yourself. You're networking for the next person or your client. So really, we're doing a 360 radius around the room to see, what's the vibe in the room? Who's in the room? Like, who can I talk to? How can I add to my resource bank? What other company or resources can I add to my resource bank? So as you're doing that and you're having these organic conversations, just find out a commonality, find out what the problem is, or, maybe share some value of something that, listen. And another thing going to networking events is find out what's trending. That's the best way to start a conversation, is find out what's trending. So when you're actually, whether you're at the front of the line or the back of the line, you have something that you can just generate a conversation with, because if you know what's trending, the trending topics is going to be everywhere. You can't miss it. So that's number one. Don't go out the, don't swing the, don't swing the bat first. Okay. Maybe get a foul ball first. Let it go across the plate. I'm just throwing out some analogies. Okay. So the next one is the buying signals. Okay. One of the things that I found, even in being in the network marketing industry, that a lot of times we miss buying signals. Okay. And I know a lot of times, and that's going to be one of the things too, is that we don't ask for the sale. But when you do find that people are vibing with you, they're agreeing with you. You see the nod. Okay, here's another body language. You see the nod in the head. Okay, yeah, oh, I'm all in. Stop right there. Don't go any other. Don't go no further. If they say they're all in, they're ready. They're giving you all the signals. You should already have kind of a little cheat sheet in your head of when people are ready to purchase. Normally, like, yes, are you with me? Oh, that would be awesome. You can see yourself in that. That's a buying signal. They're mirroring, matching body language. Yeah, okay. Don't dismiss that. That is a buying signal. So just pay attention to the important signals from everyone, in the room, or the decision makers, to get them involved with you. Mirror the body language. If we're going to keep putting body language into our conversation, yes. If they're all like, oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm all in. But really that one signal is when they're not in that head, when they're doing the same thing that you should be doing when you're actually presenting to your client, then you know that they're ready to buy. And here's the third one. Stop refusing to ask the hard questions. Not everybody is supposed to be your customer. Okay? Not everybody is supposed to be your customer. Some people could be a referral customer. Okay? But listen, we have to make sure that, okay, number 2, right? Don't miss out on the buying signals. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for talking back with me. Thank you for helping me coast this conversation along. And then I asked for this. There you go. Silent signals. Thank you so much. Let me see. Pitching too fast. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for helping me. I appreciate this. So now we're on the third one. Don't listen. Everybody's not supposed to be your customer. Stop refusing to ask the hard questions. Because remember, there is urgency, but there's not urgency. Because no, there is urgency, and then so there's a thing, urgency, and then there's desperation. Okay, desperation means you're just picking up anybody that come on off the bat, and that means you're going to have to work harder, and eventually that customer is going to fall off. Okay, so there can be a sense of urgency, and there can be a sense of desperation. There's two different things. Okay, but ask the hard questions. And the reason why I say that entwines with asking the hard questions, because some people feel like, I can't lose this deal. I need this. Trust me, we all need it. But it's a part now, we have to change our mentality to work smarter, not harder. And not everybody is supposed to be on the team. Everybody ain't supposed to be on the team or on your team. So we have to be able to ask the hard questions. We really have to filter them, vet them, ask them questions. Really get to know them, because that's another signal that when people are really sitting there wanting you to get to know who they are and what their goals, dreams, and hopes are, it just makes for such a better relationship. Okay. Number 4. Remember, we're going to go over 5 of them. But number 4 is, this one's kind of a huge one. So please write this down. Believing price will solve the problem. Okay? Price does not solve the problem. Okay? So here's the thing. Nobody ever buys for price. They buy for access, accountability. How can you, if you can have access, accountability, and results driven. I mean, that's what most people purchase when they buy from you. They want to know that they have access to it. They're going to have some type of accountability, and the result is going to change their situation. So don't go in already, what is it, dumbing down your price, because that's not what it's about. It's not about that. No one ever buys for price. Because believe it or not, what's that old saying? People will buy what they want to buy. But how do they buy it? Now we're going back to patterns. Now it's all about the patterns of how people buy. Access, accountability, result driven. So let's just talk about that when we are talking about putting our products and services out there. Do not automatically, when you throw a price out and you get that, that's not what it's about. Matter of fact, you might want to stay away from people like that. No, I'm just playing. But I'm just saying, nothing should ever be a sticker shocker or shock sticker. None of that should ever be the case when it comes to your products and services. And I don't want to get real deep into that, but there's another case about, I mean, there's a whole nother topic that we could talk about, the fact of, price pointing our products and services. Price does not solve the problem. People want access, people want accountability, and people want results. Absolutely. Thank you so much. So let's talk about that we'll talk about that at a later time, but that's going to be the fourth thing. Believing price will solve the problem, and it will not, because people never buy on price. They just don't. We just don't do it. I mean, even check our own self and how we buy our products and services. If it's something real Gucci good looking, we're going to buy it anyway. We're going to figure out how to buy it. So that price never really it was never really the issue. One of the things I talked about last week too is, you know what, we all buy on emotions, and timing is everything. So let's think about that when we are actually presenting our product. It may not be a good timing. The emotions may not be high and right, but it doesn't mean that you have to second guess what your products and services are. Just don't do it. Okay, so our fifth one is a good mentor of mine, or I don't want to say, well, he is a good mentor of mine, and he is an influencer of mine, and his name is Matt Morris. I love him to death. So I do. I'm throwing out a plug on Matt Morris. I love him to death. But one of the things he says to do is to present without the intentions to close. Okay. Because here's the thing about it is, we are just starting conversations. But one of the things that he says, is that when we went back to the very beginning, when we talked about body language, is that when people mirror what you're doing, that's the buying signal. You already know it. I mean, we already have to kind of go into, I know some, and listen, if whoever's watching the replay on this, listen, don't give me, but I think everybody has to ask for the sale. You do have to ask for the sale, but you have to know the buying signals. You have to know the conversation. You have to know the pattern of what you're doing. You even have to know, the beginning of the pitch. I mean, that's just 5, but that's a lot of things that go into play. But when it's time to present, one of the things that Matt Moore says, just present it and shut up. Present and shut up. Don't say another word. I guess I shouldn't say shut up, but be quiet. Don't talk anymore. Mom's the word. Mom's is the word after you present. Because presenting without the intentions to close that's the fifth one. Presenting without the intentions to close is really a waste of your time. Okay, presenting, that's 5, without the intentions to close. Okay, is the biggest I think, mistake that we all make when it comes to our business. At some point in time, you're going to have to close. At some point in time, it's not just about having okay, wait a minute. We just have to put, before I even go off into that, because that's a whole nother topic. Listen, presenting without the intentions to close is number 5. Always make sure that you are ready to close, that you have a closing strategy, you have a closing plan at the end of your conversation. Okay. And always make sure that you have an action for that prospect to do at the end of the closing. If it doesn't result in a sale at the end, have an action, have a plan, have a strategy plan, a follow-up strategy plan. What happens next? Where are you going to navigate your customer from after the conversation? Because remember, sometimes it takes 7 to 8 touches before a person will even do business with you. So you have to have a plan in place when you're having these presentations, when you're having these meetings. Okay? You just have to have it. And if you want more tips and strategies, we could share that with you in our Win membership group, where you can get more detailed on really having a plan in place for when you're doing these. But let's just reset the room again real quick. So again, I'm Tandra Price, your networking ninja. I help you implement networking strategies to help grow your business. Today, we talked about piggyback conversation from our last Tuesday conversation, which we talked about body language. And one of the things that I said, please read the room. Okay, when it comes to putting things together. I'm pulling out my handy dandy resource, Body Language 101. Please feel free to get it. I got this at the Barnes & Noble bookstore. And it's been a blessing to me ever since, because it really helps you to identify things. We talked about the silence, the silent signals for you to know. But one of the things that is a silent signal is, we talked about people moving their heads from side to side, just like, like all over the place. The second one is when they're actually leaning in, putting their arm or putting their face, using their hand as a holding mechanism to hold their face up, just to be in tune with what you're doing. Those are silent signals. That means that you have to now put in play a different something in your presentation, your conversation, your talking, something to get people more active and engaged with you, because those silent signals are meaning that they're bored. You didn't went into boredom mode. In order to get out of boredom mode, we have to do something different. We have to, bring some energy, some excitement. Read the room. That's the very first thing we talked about. And that was piggybacking from our conversation on last Tuesday. And we will talk more about body language as we go out throughout the month. The second thing we talked about, or was our main topic, was we were going to take this Tuesday and next Tuesday to talk about 10 mistakes that really kill a deal. Okay, 10 mistakes that kill the deal. And I'm so thankful that someone was in here helping me along the way. So the first one was not having a selling solution. That's the pain point when we're actually talking to people. Know what you're solving, know what the problem is, know what the issue is. Make sure that you know that. Number 2 was we're missing the buying signals. Remember when we're talking about people saying, hey, I'm all in, I'm ready to go. Matt Moore says, and most importantly, when we're mimicking body images and we're giving them signals, we are giving them signals too, like my head, like, oh, you in, right? You in. So then they're going to actually mimic that as well. Hello. The next one, that was number 2. The other one is refusing to ask the hard questions. We have to ask these questions, because this is who we determine who's going to be on our team. Who's on the team? We got to know who's on the team. And we want the right people to be on the team. We want to work smarter, not harder. Number 4 was believing price will solve the problem. It will not. Price will not solve the problem. No one buys price ever. What did I say? Access, accountability, and results. That's what we're looking for. Can I get access to what you have? Or is it access to something that I don't have? 2, we need accountability. We talk about that all the time. Having accountability, a coaching partner, someone to help us move along the process, move this process along. And 3, what is the results? What am I going to get at the end? Is this going to change my business? Is it going to change my life, my career? What is it going to change? I need to see the results. And the last one was presenting without the intent to close. Because a lot of times we are just talking and we got to be quiet. When it's time to close and you've made your close, be quiet. Just be quiet. Shh. Shh. Don't say another word. Let someone else, let your prospect be able to talk. Because now you've presented, you've given everything that you needed to do. So now either they're going to be ready to buy or they're going to be a follow-up. And then have a follow-up strategy. Have a follow-up strategy plan. Where do I direct my customer? Where do we go from here? Okay. Remember, it takes 7 to 8 touches before someone will do business with us. So, woo. I didn't drop down some juice. I dropped down 5 good juicy nuggets. And I hope that you implement them in your business. Especially, you know what, as we are all leaders and we're all doing presentation and speaking engagements, that we look for those silent signals, to make us better than we were from yesterday. Let's look for the silent signals, because sometimes you don't have that wingman in the back saying, okay, speed it up. Okay, girl, do something, make it happen. But when they say read the room, really read the room. Okay. So let me see. Let me go over here real quick and see. We got some good comments, some juicy comments. Hello. Thank you all for being a part here. Hey, lady. Yes. Thank you so much. Look, no one even told me where they were calling in from. Last time we had some Nigeria on here. We had some good stuff. Tandra, number 5, Matt Morris is a good mentor. Yes, he is. Presenting without the intent to close is the biggest mistake. Having a closing strategy plan, having an action at the end of the closing, and having a follow-up strategy. Yes. It's a must. It's a must. Woo. That's it. Them juicy nuggets. That's right. Let me see. So for those who go back and read the replay, thank you so much for looks like Miss Deborah Lynn. Thank you so much for putting all that information in for me. I appreciate you. I do. Thank you so much. Yes, so she's put it all in there. You can go back in there and check it all out. She's put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. She even talked about the body language. Thank you so much. I appreciate it for putting all that information in. So listen, you have your plan. You have your mapped out plan of where you're going, what you're doing, and how to implement these 5 strategies. Next Tuesday, we're going to pick up the other 5 because we will actually complete the whole 10 next Tuesday. And you know what? We're going to have some special guests. I'm going to bring in some guests that's going to come in and kind of talk about, because you're probably tired of hearing me talking, and listen, it's time to have somebody else talk. And if any of you out there that want to be a part of the Talk to Me Tuesday, listen, this is our whole playground. So we're inviting each and every one of you to come in and talk and share your nuggets, show your girl the nuggets and things. So I appreciate that. So next Tuesday, we'll pick up the other 5. Remember, I can say the most important thing is let's read the room. Read the room. If nothing else, I want you to read the room, because as I end this presentation today, you're either going to go have another conversation with someone, or you're going to be on the stage presenting. Read the room. Give it some life. Give it some energy. Let me see. I'm just trying to figure out my notes, make sure I'm missing nobody. Hey, Miss Rhonda. Thank you so much for joining us. Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, so as you see above, I have my magazine, which is Tapped In Magazine, which is the link. Go to the link. If you're wanting to get more visibility in your business and you're wanting to listen, it's time for us to set the stage. It's time for us to make ourselves go global. It's time for us to get into different media outlets. This is a strategy that is a must for every person. So if you're looking to get some more visibility, go check out our Tapped In. We're looking for ladies to be featured on our front cover of our August edition. Listen, we're just about done. We have two spots left. So we're looking for 2 more fabulous ladies to be a part of this magazine. Go ahead and go to that link, or you can DM me if you're interested in being a part of that. We also have our Conversations Over Coffee, which will be next Thursday. We now start going to every other Thursday, but it will be next Thursday. Listen, we're going to have some juicy topics there. Another way where you can get some more helpful networking tips to help grow your business. And also, if you join me on this Wednesday for HMP, There's another way. Listen, I'm dropping all these golden nuggets for you to be able to plug into the power of networking. I'm giving you Conversations Over Coffee. I'm giving you Tapped In magazine. I'm giving you HMP. And we also have, I am so delighted and grateful to be a part of, which is called blackowned.com. And let me put that in here. I should just have that already posted on here. To go and take a look at that, go to the Black Talent community. We are doing some amazing things within that group, and we want you to be a part of that group as well. So go there. Let me put it up here. Go there to blackowned.com. Register. They're giving away a $500 gift, Amazon gift card, I believe, just by you just going there, register and putting your information in there. So yeah, and then we're going to have a big celebration and kickoff in September. Let me see what else am I missing. I think that's it. Like, I ain't got my wingman, but I think that's it. I think that's all we got. We got the magazine, and I gave you 3 different groups to be a part of to make sure that you are actually plugging into the power of networking somewhere. So as always, I am going to leave you on an amazing tip, which just talks a little bit again about, let me see here. Do we have it in here? Oh, and I think we're doing Wacky Wednesday, and I will definitely verify that with Lotus Richey. So if you're looking to get a 30-second promo video, which everybody needs one, I suggested that they get one. We'll maybe have her jump on a little bit for a few quick seconds, maybe next Tuesday, just to give us a little bit more insight on that. Until the next time we meet again, join me every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central Time for Talk to Me Tuesday.
The moment you've all been waiting for has finally arrived. Tap In is here, and it's time to grab your copy, featuring powerfully amazing women to follow in 2021 and beyond. It's your time to elevate, recreate, and celebrate your brilliance. This is the global magazine for you to get tapped into and experience powerful stories about finance, health, wellness, business, global networking, bossing on social media, tragedies, triumphs, and much, much more. It's your time to open the door to your future and get tapped in with women all around the globe who are ready to network and let you do your work to bring your business up to the next level. So come on in and get your tap in today. It's your time to shine and share your story with the world and encourage every woman, man, boy, and girl to get tapped in to tap in. Be featured now.